All right, let's do some sound checks now. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Wait for the stream delay. Hey, we seem to be live. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Extra Life. It's a beautiful, crisp, some might even say cold morning here in Nova Scotia, and it is time for the Extra Life stream in support of the IWK Health Center Foundation. I'm BlobinatorQ, or you can call me Rob if you want. I'm going to be streaming today and raising money for Extra Life. You can see the donation link up above me, or you can click on it down below in my info section here on Twitch. I'm playing for Extra Life as a member of the HB Stingers, so if you head over to my Extra Life page, you can head over and see all the other great folks from HB Studios who are also raising money for the IWK Health Center. There are also some other great streamers that are playing today in support of children's hospitals. My friend Ryan Zafaris, you can head over to his channel and check out what he's doing there. He and I might actually get some multiplayer gaming going on at some point today. But in the meantime, I think it's about time to fire up a game and get gaming. So let's pop over to... All right, we don't have a game. Let's see. Where is our game window? There we go. Aha! Here we go. Oh, that's not gonna work very well, I don't think. We are going to need... We're going to need to switch over to the no overlay version. There we go. Now we can see everything. Unfortunately, the Extra Life overlay is going to have to go away for now so that we can see the toolbar and everything. All right. Yes. So we are starting out playing Factorio. Let's make sure that we actually have game sound coming through on the stream as well. Test this. All right. Yes, we've got game sound. All right. I'm going to stop listening to myself now and focus on the streaming. All right. So I am playing Factorio, and this is what I'm calling my lazy blob turd run. So if any of you haven't played Factorio, it's basically a game about automating all the things. So you can sort of think of it like something like Minecraft or Terraria. If Minecraft or Terraria had machines that could mine things for you, craft things for you, and so on. So, you know, you can get some of that in heavily modded versions of Minecraft, but Factorio is that taken to the nth degree. The ultimate goal in Factorio is to launch a rocket. You want to launch a rocket to get off of this planet that you've crash landed on. And so to launch a rocket, you need to build up a factory that can produce all the parts of the rocket that you're going to need. Now, of course, once you've launched the rocket, that's not necessarily the end of the game. Launching a rocket with a satellite on board gives you satellite science, which lets you research things that you couldn't research before. So that's the basic idea of Factorio. Now, in my lazy blob tard run, I'm going for 4 specific achievements here today. So we have the Lazy Bastard achievement, the Steam All the Way achievement, Raining Bullets, and Logistic Network Embargo. So the Lazy Bastard achievement is sort of the real tricky one in this playthrough. Lazy Bastard is an achievement where you have to launch a rocket without handcrafting more than 111 items. So that can be a little bit challenging. You have to basically automate all the things. Usually when you play Factorio, you work on automating a lot of things, but you do handcraft a lot of things in your inventory as well, especially some of the minor things that you might need, like if you need a quick inserter or something, you're one short on the inserters that you had automatically crafted, then you might handcraft an inserter in your pocket to finish out some inserter array or something like that. But with Lazy Bastard, you can't afford to do that. Steam All the Way just means don't build any solar panels. We will have to manufacture some solar panels because they're a part of building the rocket, or building the satellite, I think, for the rocket. But we won't be using any solar panels for power. So we're going to be focusing on coal first, and then probably moving to nuclear later. We have this nice big patch of uranium ore right here. So later in late game, we'll be mining some uranium, enriching it with the Covarex process, and then making our power generation come from nuclear. Raining Bullets means that we're not allowed to use any laser guns. Now, I have to admit, I'm cheating on this one a little bit. We're not in peaceful mode here, but in the setup for the map, I actually set enemy bases to none. So while technically the biters are still aggressive, because there are no bases, there are no biters that are going to spawn. So I won't have to build any defensive structures. The last game I played, I had biters on and built defensive structures, and that was an interesting challenge. But for today, considering I'm playing for Extra Life, I may not even finish this playthrough today because I am going to be jumping to other games and so on. Because I don't want to waste a whole lot of time going and dealing with biter bases and walling off areas so that I have a safe area to work in and so on, I just have enemy bases set to none, so we should get this one pretty easily. And then logistics network embargo means that I'm not allowed to build any requester or active provider chests. We can still use the logistics network in the sense that we can still build construction and logistic robots to do things like build things for us, deliver items to us, and so on. But we can only use passive provider and storage chests. Without requester chests and active providers are very useful, but they're usually more useful for things like delivering things via train to a logistics network and then having them moved out of the rail yard quickly. But the requester chest specifically means that we're not going to be able to have any bot-based solutions. We're going to be using lots of belts, lots of trains, but we won't have any bot-based solutions for bringing goods to other parts of the factory. So that should be interesting. So now this map that I've loaded up, this is not, I didn't start this map up first thing this morning. I have actually been running on this map for I think a little over an hour because the first part of a lazy bastard run is getting lots and lots of resources. And I figured that would be pretty boring to watch on stream. I basically fired up my little burner mining drill and my stone furnace here and just let them run for a while watching YouTube. So I've built up a good collection of resources. You can see I have some stone brick here, I have lots of wood, I have lots of coal, I have some stone, I have some iron plates, and I have some copper plates. So that should keep us going for a while. It should let us do all the handcrafting we need to do right off the beginning of the game to bootstrap a base. It's still going to be slow going because once I get my first little bit of automation up and running, I get my first assembler up and running, then I'm going to need to work through that to craft all the other things I need to start taking my bootstrap base and move it up into a more full-fledged base. But at least this part is out of the way. We don't have to sit around for an hour just collecting resources to get going. Now the other thing I've done is I've gone and I've taken a little tour of the map. I ran around for a while. I cleaned out, or I cleared away some of the fog of war around some of our surrounding area here. And as you can see, we're on a pretty nice map here. We've got this lake that I've named Baby Elephant Lake because it kind of looks like a baby elephant, with a little trunk here and an ear here. My plan is I'm going to start out with a bootstrap power system right here. So it's right next to where I'm standing, basically. Right over here, I'm going to set up my bootstrap power system. That's where I'm going to have my first lab and do our first little bit of science. And the bootstrap base, to just get a few things up and running, is going to come off of that. Probably off to the south here. I'll end up tearing it up again once we get past the bootstrap phase. Now, longer term, I plan to have my main power station over here. So over on this side of Baby Elephant Lake, I'm probably going to set up my coal plants. I'm thinking probably off to the south here somewhere. In fact, what I might do is after my bootstrap base, I'll probably build my bootstrap base out this way and down to the south a little bit. And then once I start building my actual first power array, I'll probably build that coming off of here as well and heading straight down south. I might have to clear a few of these trees out of the edge of this forest here first, but then I'll probably build that coming straight down south. And then as I start to get up to larger power arrays, I'll probably build that over here to the west of Baby Elephant Lake. I have a nuclear power symbol here because my nuclear power is also going to be over here somewhere. I'll run the water needed for the nuclear power over here to the main power station. And then my plan is this main power station is going to be serviced by coal, maybe first coming from Coley the fish up here. You can see this fish-shaped coal patch here that has 1.5 million coal, so there's lots of coal there, but it's pretty small, so we can't get a lot of lines running off of it. We have a big coal patch down here, 8.2 million, but that's going to be a long way to belt coal up to the main power station for our initial coal setup, to have it over here. So I may have some coal plants over here. We'll see, but definitely the nuclear is going to wind up over here. I've got some iron right over here, and that's going to be my bootstrap iron. I have this little tiny patch of 24,000 iron, but then this bigger one of 1.3 million iron. And I've got this copper ore over here, which is 2.5 million. I've got this other one over here, which is 3.2 million. So one of these two is going to be my bootstrap copper. I'm kind of thinking I'll start with sort of the left-hand side of this guy over here as my bootstrap copper smelting. And for my bootstrap copper smelting, my bootstrap iron will come from right over here. And then down over in this area here, I'm going to take most of this copper here, this iron right over here, and I'll probably have a sorter so I can sort out this copper here from this iron here, and I'm going to send it all over here. This is where I'm going to build my green circuits. I've got some oil over here that I think is going to be sort of my bootstrap oil. Later on, I'm going to have a second oil set up over here, which I've called Plasticville, because we've got oil and coal right next to each other, so that's perfect for manufacturing plastic. We've got some bootstrap stone right up here. I plan to tap this, and that's where I'm going to be making stone furnaces and so on in the early game, and then as we move on to later, I might get some stone bricks and eventually some concrete. Maybe I can grab this iron ore up here and some water from, I'd have to pipe it all the way from Baby Elephant Lake probably. We're a little low on water on this map, so I may have to go searching for some more water later. Anyway, I might be able to get some concrete going over here somewhere. Now I have this labeled as main bus right here. So my plan is that I'm going to have a bus going straight up this way, up north, staying to the west of Gooey Duck Copper Patch. You can see I thought this kind of looked like a Gooey Duck shell and a Gooey Duck coming out of it, so that's my Gooey Duck Copper Patch. I'll end up tapping that eventually, probably. I do plan to have a main bus coming up here, and my general thought is my main bus is going to come up here, and I'm going to have a mall coming off to the side here. Now, I call this a main bus, but this is not really going to be a main bus base. I am going to start with a main bus as a general organizational structure for sort of a starter base. I'm going to have, I'm thinking either 4 or possibly 8 lines of copper going up north, 4 or 8 lines of iron, 4 lines of copper, and then probably 4 lines of green circuits, although getting green circuits up here is going to be a bit of a pain with this forest in the way. We'll see. Once we get some grenades, we might be able to expedite clearing some space to bring the green circuits up from here. But in any case, I am going to have something like a bus here. It's going to service a mall, and then up here I'm probably going to have red and green science, and up here is probably where I'm going to end up with blue science as well. Once I get to the point where I've tapped some oil, I have this bootstrap oil down here that I'm planning on tapping. There's also a little bit of oil over here that I might end up tapping. That'll get us up to blue science. Once we get blue science, that's when the game really opens up, because then we'll be able to start getting some robots. And even though we have the logistics embargo in place, we can still get construction robots to help us build things, and we can get logistics robots to help deliver us things from the mall, and that'll make things move a lot faster. So once we get to that point, then my plan is to sort of move away from a main bus base, and I'm going to start moving to outposts. So we're going to set up mining outposts and smelting outposts at lots of these big patches that are probably off to the south. I'm probably going to focus on heading south for the most part, because I want to have a train network that's going to go through this area here. We can actually deliver some goods up here, so when we start running out of iron up here and so on for our mall and our early science, we can always train smelt some iron and then train it in and drop it off and put it right at the beginning of the bus if we need to. But generally speaking, I don't think I'm going to keep running this bus way up to the north and have extra train stations dropping resources into the bus to then continue feeding things. I've done that before, and it works fairly well, but it's also kind of boring, and I like trains, so I want to set up some trains, have some nice outposts, have a nice green circuit outpost, have a red circuit outpost, a blue circuit processing unit outpost, and so on. And then we can train those materials to where they're needed. Eventually, we'll set up a rocket base, a rocket building base somewhere. I'm not sure where that's going to be, but we'll have an outpost somewhere. Maybe that'll be up north of our main bus here. And then we can start training up all of the ingredients that we need to build the rocket, and have a nice series of belts that will pull those things off the train, bring them to the rocket, and we can launch our rocket without having to use requester chests. So that's the general plan. That might change a dozen times before the end of the day, but for now, let's get started. So first thing we need to do is we need to build a small electric pole. One small electric pole. So that actually gave us 2 small electric poles. That was 3 crafts. We're at 3 of 111 up here now. Next, we need 1 offshore pump. Boop. See our crafts counting up there. We're up to 11 crafts now, but we have our offshore pump. So now we need 1 boiler. That's a steam engine. We need a boiler. Now that boiler used up the stone furnace that I had. And so that's why I needed to collect all of these resources ahead of time, because if I didn't, then I'd be out of luck, and then I'd have to handcraft another stone furnace to be able to do things. So I wanted to make sure I had all of the ingredients I was going to need to craft all these early game items that I need to handcraft to get me up to the point where I can start automating some of this. All right, so now I've got that boiler. Now I need 1 steam engine. Boop. We should, if we're right on track, we should be at 30. Yes, we're at 30 handcrafts now. Perfect. All right, so let's start out getting our little starter base here. And I actually think I had been saying I was going to go down south. I think I'm actually going to go to the east here with it, because it's not going to take up that much space to begin with. I'll go east and then start building off to the south with some of the early build everything items that I need. So let's go right here, and then I need to put my boiler, attach my boiler right there. Oh, we need to there we go, turn on the alt here. So all right, let's get that hooked up. So we've got water, and now we need our steam engine. We'll pop our steam engine in place, and we'll put down a power pole. We have 2 power poles, so I'll put down this second power pole right here. All right, so we've got our power set up now. Now I need to feed some coal into this, but first we need something to actually use that power. So I'm going to start out by building 1 lab. You can see our crafts ticking away. And that lands us at 70 crafts, which again is right where we should be right now, so that's good. So I'm going to drop that lab right here. That can start doing some research for us. And now the next thing I need is I need to make 10 bottles of cherry soda, 10 science pack 1s. So I'm going to build 5 and 5. And this should bring us up to 90 crafts, if my math is correct. Building, building, building. Two more cherry sodas. 1 more cherry soda. And that's all the cherry soda we need. Okay, so we need to put this into our lab here. So now our scientists have enough cherry soda that they can keep going for the day. So now I'm going to take some coal and feed it into my boiler right here. So that's going to start working. That's going to send some steam over here to the steam engine. That's going to generate some power, and that powers our lab. Now, I've already selected automation as my research. That's the most important part of this setup right here, is that I need to research automation first, because that is what is going to give me an assembler. And then once I have an assembler, then I can craft stuff in the assembler without needing to craft things by hand. So once I get my assembler crafted after automation has finished researching, then I'm actually going to go into the permissions on the game. It's technically sort of the permissions on the game server, I guess, but I'm playing single player, but it's the same sort of permissions as if I was playing with other people in the game. I'm going to go into the permissions and remove my own ability to craft for now. And then I'll turn that crafting permission back on once I get to the point where I can build an assembler 2, because the level 2 assembler can't be made in a level 1 assembler. So that's the next thing that I will need to handcraft after I get my assembler. But that won't be for a little while. I have some basic setup things to do after I get an assembler level 1 first, before I can get to the point where I can actually research automation 2. Then after that, after I get that assembly machine 2, I'll turn off my ability to craft again until I'm at the point where I need to build an oil refinery. And then I'll turn on crafting one more time. I'll build probably a few oil refineries. Oh, automation is done. So we're going to want, the next thing we really want to get is automation 2, because that's what gives us our assembly machines 2. But to get there, we're going to need electronics, and we're going to want to have some automated setup for science packs, because we need 30 red science packs for the electronics research and 80 for automation 2. And obviously we don't have enough crafts to do that all in our hand. So I'm going to start researching electronics for now. But it's not going to go anywhere because we have no science packs left. But that's okay. We'll take care of that in a moment. So next thing we need to do is build one assembly machine 1. So this should bring us all the way up to 104 crafts. There we are, 104 crafts. So now, for safety's sake, first of all, I'm going to save the game. And let's call this Lazy Blob Tard 03. All right, resume. Now I need to bring up the console. I think that's this. Here we go. And I'm going to go /permissions. And oh, maybe not. Let's double check how to do that. All right, yeah, it should be /permissions. You can edit. Here we go. Here we go. So, take away the permission to craft. So, that should do it. So now, I shouldn't be able to accidentally click on these things. I'm not going to bother clicking on anything right now anyway, but just in the interest of safety, I have that turned on. So now, we have an assembly machine. So, what do we need? Well, one thing that we're going to need pretty soon is we are going to need some more burner mining drills. And to get burner mining drills, we're going to need more stone furnaces. Stone furnaces take 5 stone. Burner mining drills take 3 iron gear wheels. So, let's start out by doing some stone furnaces. I'm going to make some stone furnaces, and I'm going to load a bunch of stone in here. There we go. Now we've got 10 stone furnaces. Excellent. Now we want to make some gear wheels. So let's make some, autosave, all right. Some gear wheels. Let's load in some iron right here. We're gonna need a bunch of gear wheels, so I'm gonna let that run for a little while. Do. Gear wheels, gear wheels, gear wheels. All right. And I think that's fine. Oh no, let's get a couple more. That'll do. All right, so we'll take those. So now we want to make some burner. No, not burner inserters. That's not right. That's not right at all. Can we not make burner mining drills? Oh no, burner mining drills take too many ingredients. They take 3 ingredients, and an assembly machine can only take up to 2. So we need to get our science packs up and running before we can do any of that. Okay, so we are stuck with 1 burner mining drill. So let's get that set up with one of these so that we can get some more iron plates, because we're going to need a bunch of iron plates. So in the meantime, we need copper plates and iron gear wheels for this. So yeah, let's go ahead and get some copper plates in here. Boop. And some iron gear wheels. All right, we'll let that run for a little while. Go grab some of this. Now, down here, I think it's time to start chopping some trees. Now, as you can see, we don't actually have an axe yet. Oh, that's something else I should build. I should build myself an axe. That's the next thing I'm gonna do. As soon as we've churned through a few more of these, let's grab these out of here. Grab all of these. Let it finish this last one here. There we go. We got 6 of those. Let's go ahead and pop those into the lab. It can get started on electronics. But I'm first going to build. So what do we need for this? We need iron sticks and iron plates. So I'm going to have this build me an iron stick. Build me a couple of iron sticks. And now we're going to change this to this, and we're going to load it up, build a couple of axes. There we go. So now I think what I'm going to do next is I'm actually just going to have this churn through, because each one of these takes 1 gear wheel. So at the moment we could make at most 34 more science, and we know that we need at least 120, I think it is, or 110. So we're going to need a bunch more gear wheels. So I'm going to have this start churning on gear wheels for now. Now that I've got an axe, I can actually come down here and actually be somewhat effective in clearing some of these trees. Clear away some trees from Baby Elephant Lake here. This will give us a little bit more space for the power setup that I want to build eventually. Now that power setup, the tricky thing about that power setup is we're going to have to get coal brought in from somewhere. And so I suspect what we're going to end up doing for coal is we're going to end up belting in the coal from Coley the fish up here. There's a 1.5 million coal, which for early game is a lot. It's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but for early game it's a lot. That's going to serve our iron smelting, our copper smelting, and our initial power setup down here. So it's going to have to go a long way. So I think I'm going to need to clear some of these trees up here as well to make some room to belt this coal down this way. Because my only other option is to belt coal up from this coal patch down here. That's the next nearest coal patch. And that would be a lot of belts. And since I can't handcraft any belts, that would take a long time. So I think I'm going to start clearing some trees up here. How are these things doing here? Oh, we've made 50 more gear wheels. All right, let's switch this up and make some more science packs. Give that what we need. What do we have over here? All right, we've got some more iron plates. All right, let's start clearing this away. Lazy bastard runs are very, very slow going off the beginning, but if any of you out there are Factorio fans, if you've watched any Catherine of Sky, watched her Lazy Island run, you know that after a while they get going pretty smoothly. Once you reach sort of mid-game and beyond, it's really no different than any other playthrough of Factorio, because usually by that time you're not handcrafting a lot of stuff anyway. It's just the early game ends up being very slow. You have to really plod through crafting a lot of stuff. You know, if I was playing a normal game of Factorio, you know, even putting aside the hour plus that I spent collecting resources, I would already have some mining setups starting to get going. I'd at very least have several burner mining drills all feeding into boilers, smelters, stone furnaces. And so then I'd have lots and lots of iron coming in and probably a bunch of copper as well. And we'd really be getting going on bootstrapping our base. As it is right now, I just have to kind of grind until I can get an assembler level 2. Once I can get an assembler level 2, then we can start making more assemblers, so then we can assemble more stuff at once. I think I could probably make another assembler level 1 right now, actually, but I'm not sure if it would actually help us a whole lot. Get some more of these. Oops. Oh, hey, I just clicked on Science Pack 1, but it didn't craft. That's good. My crafting permission worked. That would have been a disaster if I had not turned that permission off, because I'm too used to just clicking on... My problem is, I want to click on stuff in my inventory. I accidentally click on stuff in the crafting pane a lot, not intending to craft, just intending to actually pick up an item. I see 70 over here, and I'm like, oh, I have 70 science packs. No. I could craft 70 science packs if I was allowed to. And here's my inventory over here. It's the UI in Factorio. I mean, the Factorio devs are great, but I do think the UI could probably use a little bit of love. Now, with that said, I'm not a great UX designer, so I don't exactly have a set of suggestions to hand to them to say, here's how the UI should be. So all I know is that at times I find it a little bit unintuitive, and I find I click the wrong thing from time to time. Could be just as much my problem as a problem with the game, but you know, there's a part of me that thinks that maybe there would be a better way to do it somehow. Let's keep on chopping some wood here. Getting up pretty close to, yeah, there's the coal patch right here. So we have room now to run some belts down north of this iron without having to tread on any of this iron. I'm going to make a little bit more space just because, well, this is basically a waiting game for us here right now, and so I figure I might as well just keep on chopping some trees, make some space. We have some more uranium up here. I'll probably try to mine out this uranium at some point as well. I don't think there's a whole lot there. Where's the... There we go. 75k, yeah. So there's not that much uranium. So if I get my uranium set up going down south, I might also set up some miners on this uranium and just belt it down to the south to be processed in the same Coverex process as everything else, and eventually clean out this patch and then have some space to be used for something else. I'm not a fan of building over the top of ore. I know that this game, especially in a game like this where I won't have biters to deal with, and so there's just, you know, space and ore patches everywhere, and I might as well just build right over the top. But it drives my brain a little batty. I'm not technically OCD, but I definitely have some OCD tendencies, including the fact that in a game like Factorio, I really dislike building over the top of ore. So I'd much rather mine it out, put a bunch of miners on there with speed modules, and just mine out the spot to clear it before putting something else there. All this chopping trees is somewhat annoying. I'm looking forward to when we have grenades, and I can use grenades in my deforestation efforts. But for the time being, we will make do with our trusty axe. Oh, we're down to 1 axe now. I've already gone through one of my axes. I'm going to have to craft myself a few more axes at some point, I think. All right, how are we doing over here? Let's grab some of this out here. We got 44 more iron plates. We're doing okay on coal in there. Good. We've used up all of our cherry soda right there. Let's grab some more cherry soda. Deliver it to the scientists. Here you go. How are we doing on... Okay, we're doing okay on coal over here. Churning away now. All right, let's grab these. And let's grab these out of here. Let this one finish. Just wondering, can I make an assembler 1 in an assembler 1? No, I can't. Okay, never mind. All right, I thought maybe I could actually make another assembler and speed things along. Nope, that can't happen. All right, let's keep on churning away on that. And deliver some more soda. Let's clear this away. Boop, boop, boop. Getting some raw wood. I'm up to over 1,200 raw wood now. I should probably use that to make some wooden planks, which then I can assemble into chests, wooden chests. Because I will probably want some wooden chests, especially once I get some setup going for like stone. Once I can make more burner mining drills, I'm definitely going to want to run over to my little stone patch over here. Or there's another one up to the north of Baby Elephant Lake here. But in any case, I'm going to want to set up some burner mining drills, collecting stone, popping it into chests for me, so then I can just go grab some stone and then hand feed it into my assembler 2 once I get it to make me more stone furnaces and more burner mining drills up until I get to the point where I have electric miners. And once I have electric miners, then we can start setting up some more permanent mining operations. We can really mine out this this patch right here, especially. All right. How are we doing over here? We're getting close to having electronics done. You can see there are 7 different science packs that we can get. Science pack 1, 2, 3, military science, production science, high-tech science, and space science. I've taken to calling them cherry soda, lime or green apple soda, blueberry juice. This is cola, purple stuff, you know, the alternative to Sunny D, just some purple stuff right here. And then we've got some, I don't know what this yellow stuff is. Kind of like to think maybe my scientists like to drink pee after a while. You know, they get bored. And then we've got this white stuff. We got some milk here maybe, or cream soda. Cream soda should be clear though. But anyway. We'll drop more science packs in there. Getting very close to having electronics done now, which will give us the ability to make filter inserters, which we won't actually be using for a while. We will use it eventually to clear out this this patch over here that I mentioned. We have this copper, which is butted up against this iron, so I will have a setup over here to mine that out, but or to sort that, I mean, so then we can use it in our green circuit land over here individually. But for the first while, we're not going to be touching filter inserters, but they're nice to have. So now the next technology we want is automation 2, because we want that assembly machine 2. That crafts items that require up to 4 ingredients, which means we can make more assemblers, and we can do lots of other useful stuff. Now we're also going to need some electronic circuits for that to actually craft assembly machines too. So let's see, we've got, let's messing up here. All right, so we've got 22 science packs in here right now, so we're going to need another 58 science packs. Do we have enough here? No, we're going to need another 30 or so gear wheels. So I'm going to take these out and start manufacturing some more gear wheels. Gear wheels. Let's grab that. Gear wheels take 2 iron plates per, so we're going to need 60 or so iron plates. So let's put those in there, and boop, 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 boop. Yeah, that'll do. That's more. That'll be more than enough. So we'll get that going in there. Once that's done, then we can start crafting the remaining red science packs that we need, and then we'll need to start crafting the things that we need to make some electronic circuits, because we're going to need those electronic circuits. So those take copper cable and iron plate. Copper cable, of course, takes copper, and then we have some iron plate churning away here in the stone furnace. We may need to move our little smelting assembly, our tiny smelting assembly, over to some copper at some point to get us some more copper plates, because I may start to run a little bit low on copper plates. But that's okay. We have a setup now that we can move around as necessary. All right, we've got those gear wheels. So now we want to go back to making science packs, load it up with all the stuff we have here. We'll grab these science packs and we'll pop them in here, keep that research going. I think while we wait, I'm going to start. Oh, my axe is getting low. I should have crafted myself another axe or two. I'll use this one till it breaks. Then we'll go back and craft 4 or 5 more axes. Yeah, so I was thinking I should come over here because we've got this this patch over here that has the mixed iron and copper and so on. And this is what I want to use for my eventual green circuit production down in green circuit land, as I'm calling it. But we're going to need to clear away a lot of this ore, or a lot of these trees, sorry, so that we can get at the ore and set up miners on it. Again, it won't be for a little while because I'm going to have my bootstrap going, and I may have my first few automated green circuits. My first green circuits are going to be hand-fed to the assembler, but then my first setup for automated circuits may end up actually just being fed right off of my bus, my initial starter bus, just so that I have something to feed into the mall. My bus is not going to be extensive enough, and it's not going to have enough resources on it to really feed them all for long, but I can get that going. Something else I realize now that I remember that I'm streaming here is I should probably start crafting some lights pretty soon, because I know firsthand from watching lots of Factorio on Twitch and YouTube that the game looks a whole lot darker on stream than it does when you're playing it in person. If I wasn't going for achievements, I'd have a mod running that would lighten things up so that we wouldn't have to worry so much about getting lights everywhere for the purposes of anybody who might be watching. But since I'm going after, oh, my axe broke. Since I'm going after achievements, I'm playing totally vanilla, no mods. So we're going to need some lights around here. At the moment, I don't think it matters much because, let me just double check. I don't think anybody's actually watching right now, which is fine. Oh, hey, I do have one viewer. Hey, I can wave to my viewer. Hello. Hello. My lovely fiance is in the channel right now, but at the moment I don't have any other viewers, but all the same, I am going to get some lights up and running as soon as it's feasible so that I can save the eyes of people who might be watching. Let's drop that. I'm going to pop in here and let this last one finish, and then I'm gonna make myself a few more axes so that I can continue being somewhat productive while we wait. Churn through a few more iron plates. All right, there we go. And iron axe. Make me all the iron axes you can make with that many iron sticks. All right, I've got some iron axes, I've got some iron plates. So now I am going to go back to making science packs. There we go. Keep on churning on that. And we'll grab this, drop it in here. And now, yes, now I've got some axes. So I'm going to go back to clearing trees for a while, because there's going to be a lot of trees that are going to have to be cleared, and it's going to be a little while before I get grenades. Hopefully not too long. I do want to get a grenade assembly up and running pretty soon, because this is a very tree-heavy map. It's a tree-heavy, water-light map. So I'm going to want those grenades so I can clear some of these trees, because until you get either flamethrowers, but flamethrowers can be dangerous because the fire spreads a lot, until you get flamethrowers or bots, clearing the forest to get at ore patches and so on can be quite a pain. But grenades can be pretty effective, especially once you get a couple of upgrades on the grenade damage. I think grenades with 2 grenade damage upgrades mean that you can destroy trees with a single grenade. So then you can plow through a forest pretty quickly. Again, if I wasn't playing purely vanilla to go for achievements, I'd probably have the mods running to give me termite bots using the nanobots mod. They are sort of early game bots. They are consumed when you use them, so they're not quite as effective as the bots that you can get later game. But you can get them very early in the game, and they make life a whole lot easier. If I was going to play with mods, I would probably have a lot of quality of life mods, to be honest. Nothing super cheaty necessarily, but just things to sort of save my time, save my clicks early on. I'd probably have things like long reach going, upgrade planner to make it easier to upgrade my my belts and various assemblies to higher level stuff later on. Those would all be lovely to have turned on, but I'm going after achievements, so vanilla it is. I haven't actually played with any mods myself, but I've watched a lot of streamers play with mods. I've watched Catherine of Sky play with some mods. I've watched Quill18 play with some mods as well. I don't think I've seen Quill with any quality of life mods, but I've watched a little bit of Quill's recent Bobs and Angels mods, which Bobs and Angels looks a little nutty. I think it'll be a long time before I get to playing with Bobs and Angels. But yeah, I think Quill18 is also streaming today for Extra Life. I don't know if I talked a lot earlier about what Extra Life is, so while I chop trees, I'll talk a little bit about it. For those of you who don't know, Extra Life is an organization. It's an event, I guess, set up by the Extra Life organization that raises money for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So those are hospitals all throughout North America that treat children, sick children who need treatment, and they offer these services regardless of their family's ability to pay. In the U.S., that's very important, where there's privatized healthcare. Here in Canada, where we do have sort of nationalized healthcare, it is still important because, as is often a criticism of the Canadian healthcare system, sometimes wait times can be very long, and when you have sick kids, you don't want to have long wait times and so on. Also, pediatric medicine requires certain specialties that you don't necessarily have in the general healthcare system. So children's hospitals, parts of the Children's Miracle Network, are very important in helping out those sick kids. So here in Nova Scotia, our local our local Children's Miracle Network hospital is the IWK Health Center in Halifax. And so today I'm playing for the IWK Health Center Foundation, which is the charity fundraising arm of the IWK Health Center. Anybody who happens to be watching or happens to check out the stream a little later, I'd love to see some donations for the IWK. The IWK Health Center Foundation is a separate organization from the IWK Health Center, the actual IWK hospital itself. So the funds raised by the IWK Health Center Foundation always go directly to helping patients. It goes to helping patients and their families, buying equipment, paying for treatments, and so on. It does not go to paying salaries of executives at the hospital or anything like that. So if anybody's worried about any of the recent problems, the scandals that have been going around regarding the IWK Health Center Foundation and the money collected through Extra Life really won't be caught up in any of that. All of the money goes exactly where it should be going, helping out kids. So here we go. We have 92 iron plates going. Yeah, I think we're going to need to move this assembly over to copper pretty shortly here. I think I'm just going to let this. I'll let it run for a little while longer until we get to the point where we're getting a little bit lower on copper. We still have 160 copper in the inventory here, so I'll hold off for now. Keep on churning on that automation research, and I'll keep on chopping trees down this way. Dooby-dooby-dooby-dooby-dooby-doo. Dooby-doo-dooby-dooby-doo. So a little later on today, my friend Zaphras and I think over on his channel, if you want to go check out twitch.tv/Zaphras, I think it's also linked below my Twitch account. I think he's currently streaming for Extra Life as well. I think he's probably playing some Cook Serve Delicious. That was where he was starting out this morning anyway, but I think he's going to be playing some Super Mario Odyssey a little later today as well. I would watch his stream, but without a lot of shenanigans regarding audio, if I was watching his stream while I was streaming, then you guys would hear his stream audio through my stream. It would be a whole thing. I might get him up on my second monitor here, muted at some point, and I might hop on to Discord with him at some point as well, so we can have a little bit of a chat while we each do our gaming for Extra Life. But I think a little later on as well, he and I are going to be doing some gaming together. We might play some digital versions of some board games, maybe some Small World or some Ticket to Ride. He has Pandemic on his iPad, so he might get set up with his capture card there to capture that, and I'll join him on Skype, and we can see if we can save the world from disease or alternatively die horribly, because that's kind of how Pandemic goes sometimes. But yeah, most of my stream today is probably going to be Factorio. I would say I'm going to be streaming today and probably tomorrow. This is a 24-hour gaming marathon, but as Extra Life themselves point out, they don't want people to make themselves sick or go beyond their limits. I've pulled the full 24-plus hour marathon for Extra Life before, and I'm glad to have done it at least once in my life, but it is hard on the body, and I'm getting old now. Geeks with Scars says, too true with Pandemic, only beaten and spiraling into chaos by Flashpoint. Yeah, Flashpoint is one heck of a co-op game as well. At least in my experience, I find it much more difficult than Pandemic. Pandemic I generally have a handle on, at least without any of the expansions active. Usually I can do okay with Pandemic, kind of have the overall strategy figured out. Although, there are unwinnable games in Pandemic, so no matter how good you are at the game, sometimes you will still lose. But yeah, Flashpoint is really, really tough. But yeah, no, I'm going to be streaming for today. But as I said, I've done the 24-hour marathon before. It's really hard on the body, and I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to do that to myself this year. But I am going to be streaming for many hours today, probably somewhere between 12 and 16 hours. I will be gaming, sorry, not streaming. I'll be gaming for 12 to 16 hours, streaming for most of it, but I will take some breaks here and there, take my eyes off the screen a little bit. I'll probably go for a walk later and play some Pokemon Go while I'm walking. to give my legs a stretch. I might also stop the digital gaming for a while and play some tabletop games with my fiance to give my eyes a break from the computer. But I would say for most of the time gaming today, and then the remainder of the gaming time tomorrow. So whatever gaming out of the 24, 25-hour marathon I don't put in today, I will be putting in tomorrow, Sunday. And I would say most of that time is going to be spent playing this particular run in Factorio. Like I said earlier, I don't know if I'm actually going to launch a rocket during Extra Life. I probably could if I was being super focused about it, trying to go really, really fast. But that's not really the way I like to play Factorio. Eventually, I'll probably go for the there is no spoon achievement, and so then I'll have to learn to go real fast. And I'll have to pause anytime I'm thinking about what I want to do and so on. Oh, here we go. This is the last of our science packs that we need for Automation 2. That ought to take care of it. So let's pull these out of here. All right, we've got Automation 2. So now we can start getting some other things. So I think we're going to want logistics pretty early because we're going to want splitters and fast inserters, underground belts, although I do want to get those lamps pretty soon too. No, let's get logistics first because that's going to be very important for the basic setup of our base here. Although military will get us to grenades up here. I'm going to need green science for that, though. That's going to take a while. Yeah, let's go for logistics because that's pretty important. So now right here, I'm actually going to switch this up. We're going to make some copper cable. So let's fire some of these in here and let that churn on copper cable for a while. We're going to need a bunch of copper cable to make some electronic circuits. Now that we have Automation 2, we can make this assembly machine too, but as you can see, some of the items here are yellow, and that means that I don't have them at the moment in my inventory. They would have to be crafted if I were to craft the assembly machine too. And obviously I don't want to use up any extra craft. So first I need to craft some electronic circuits in the assembler. I need to put some, oh, looks like our boiler is out of coal. Let's take care of that before we run out of steam. Oops. Can't see my keyboard here, so I have my keyboard slid under my desk at the moment, and so I'm touching everything by feel. I can type by feel pretty easily, but trying to use WASD and all the surrounding keys without seeing the keyboard is sometimes difficult for me. As you can probably tell, I'm not much of a hardcore gamer, at least not when it comes to PC games. So I'm going to make some electronic circuits. Let's pop in what we need there. We'll churn away, make some electronic circuits. I'll just make a bunch of them because we're going to need a bunch of them eventually. But yes, so to make that a assembly machine too, I'm going to want some electronic circuits made in my assembler. I'm going to want some gear wheels made in my assembler, and then I'm going to pick up my assembly machine 1. That's going to be the assembly machine that I use in the crafting of assembly machine 2. And once I have my assembly machine 2, then in that I can make more assembly machines, which is something I'm going to want to do. I'm going to want to make more assembly machines, more burner mining drills. Those are going to be the 2 top priorities. Once I have those things up and running, then we can really start to get sort of the basic bootstrap going that you would see in a normal game of Factorio, where I'll have a line of burner mining drills going here, feeding into smelters that I'm hand feeding to get lots and lots of iron plates coming in. I'll set up some copper. There's this little teeny tiny copper patch up here that I'll probably fully cover that in burner mining drills and have all those outputting into smelters to get lots of that. And then I may end up using this copper patch right over here as well if I need to for some of that early copper. And then we'll start trying to get some other things on the go, like electric mining drills. We'll probably expand our power a little bit and then start on our sort of our bootstrap base power. So I might stick one more boiler over here. I don't actually have the space for another steam engine right here. So what I may have to do is build some pipes and actually separate this out by a couple of spaces, so then I have room to actually build 2 steam engines out here, because every boiler can service 2 steam engines. So what I might end up doing is getting maybe 2 boilers. I'll get some pipe across to here, have 2 boilers right here, 4 steam engines. That should be enough power to get us really sort of bootstrapped for a little while. And then from there, then I'll actually start setting up a more permanent power generation setup coming down this way. Anyway, that's all for the future. For now, let's grab these. So now we're going to want some, I think it's gear wheels we need more of. We always need more gear wheels, so let's get that churning. Yeah, we need more gear wheels, and then I can actually pick up my assembly machine 1, and I can turn my crafting back on to build 1 assembly machine 2. How do we got? How are we doing here? Yeah, that'll do. So I've got that. So now the only thing I'm missing is my assembly machine 1. So let's pick that up. So now I have everything I need to make my assembly machine 2. So let's go back into permissions. Grant myself the ability to craft again. Boop. Now I'm allowed to craft, and I will very carefully craft 1 assembly machine 2. Now I'm at 105 crafts. So now let's turn off crafting again immediately. Crafting turned off. There we go. So now I'm going to save the game manually here in another save slot, just to make sure that we are very safe, and if I accidentally do something wrong, craft something, break my ability to get achievements or something, I can always hop back to this point. Now we have an assembly machine 2. So, assembly machine 2, what can we make in there? We can make more assembly machines. So, first we need assembly machine 1s to craft assembly machine 2s. So, let's build a few assembly machine 1s. That's as many as we can build because we need more iron gear wheels. But we can grab those 2. Then we can change our recipe to, let's change our recipe first to iron gear wheels and churn through a bunch of those. The assembly machine 2 is a little bit faster than assembly machine 1s. You can see that assembly machine 1s have a crafting speed of 0.5. Assembly machine 2 have a crafting speed of 0.75, so 50% faster. So we'll be able to churn through things a little bit quicker. How are we doing here? Oh, yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Yeah, I might not move this assembly over to copper because I think we're okay. I'll just build another burner mining drill in here now that we can, and I'll get that set up over on copper to start churning out a little bit of copper. All right, so let's grab those 50 gear wheels. So now let's build some assembly machine 2s. Need to feed those as well. There we go. So now we've got a couple of assembly machines. So I am going to set up one over here, one over here. So what do we want? What do we want to make? What do we want to make? I think one of the important things we're going to need is we're going to need gear wheels basically just constantly being made. So let's get that going. And then over here, I think one of the things that I'm really going to want is I'm going to need some more gear wheels before I get that. Pipe. No, I think we're okay on power for the moment. Yeah, we're okay on power for the moment, so I don't need to worry too much about that. Well, first of all, let's change this guy over here to be making assembly machine 1s. So we're going to need a few more of those. All right, so now let's take that, change the recipe to some electronics. Oh, no. Change the recipe to copper cable. 50 of these. I'm gonna start churning through these. Oh, actually, no. That's not what I want to do at all. What I want to do is I want to make some burner mining drills. So let's put 1, 2, 3, 4 of these in here, and then we'll fill it with the other stuff because we need those burner mining drills to start getting a little bit more bootstrapping on the go. All right, so we'll grab those, we'll grab these, we'll grab these. So now let's start churning on some more copper cable. That's the last of my copper plates. So high priority is going and getting some copper plate smelting on the go. how much copper is in this this little tiny patch? 26,000. That's not bad for a little bootstrap. So we'll get that right there. Whoops. Get that right there. We'll get that right there. And this one I'm going to save for more iron, I think. So we're going to put another guy right there. Grab some coal. Feed that. And then these guys up here. We've got one here, one here, one here. And we're going to grab some coal. I'm going to go bop, 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 bop. And we're going to need to set up a coal setup very soon as well. Some copper plates right here. Yeah, we're running low on coal. I mean, I've got lots of wood, so in a pinch I can always throw some wood in these guys, but... Alright, let's get some copper cable from here. Oh, geez. We've got lots of copper cable now. So, what do we want some more of? Oh, we're going to need to grab this. Oh, we've got 40 of those. So, this guy, I'm going to want some more burner mining drills. Which means first I need some more stone furnaces. So let's feed that in, churn away on some stone furnaces. This guy I'm going to turn into science packs. Yeah, we need more copper though. Here we go. We got some copper now. Gonna start feeding in for more science packs because we're gonna want some of these things over here. We're gonna need some belts soonish as well, but I want to kind of get to the point where oh, I don't want okay, this guy, more iron. We really need to keep churning on those iron gears. One thing I want to do is I want to make some wooden chests, because pretty shortly we're going to want some wooden chests on the go here. Yeah, go ahead and churn on that. Alright, we've got our 50 gear wheels. 50 wood. There we go. So let's go ahead. Set the current recipe to be more burner miners. Get 5 more burner miners. Feed it with the rest of this stuff, because I want to go set up something to earn us some more coal, because we're going to need more coal for a lot of these things. Alright. Grab that. And now what do we want made here? What we probably want is electronic circuits. Let that churn on that for a while. Oh, we are all out of iron. So let's go grab some more of this iron. We can feed that into here. Alright, let's go get a little coal setup going, then we'll continue to bootstrap our iron down here. So what we can do is we can let's make that go clockwise. Like that. So now we can just go boop, 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 boop. Alright, so now that will churn away, and now I can go and pull coal out of that as needed. And now I have a decent source of coal. We're doing on coal over here. We're doing okay on coal right there. Let's go plop our last burner miner right here. Got some of these, we got some of these, we've got some of these. All right. So, let's feed in our science packs. That's still churning. This guy right here, I think I want him to make more of these. So let's drop in our assembly machine ones, drop in all of our other stuff. All right. Now, what do we want to make next? Ooh, we are going to need some transport belts. But before we get transport belts, I think actually what we're probably going to want are some electric poles. So let's churn away on those for a little while. Move this guy over here. Make a few more gear wheels for us. Going. Feed that with some more stuff because we need that science. Okay. So we've got ourselves some electric poles. So now let's make ourselves. Oh no, we're all out of wood. Okay. Let's make some wood. Pick up some of that. Over here. Pick up some of that. Come right on over here. Pick up some of that coal. On the way back, I'll pop some of these guys up. Oh, here we go. All right, let's go ahead and get optics so that I can start making a few lamps here and there. Pop some more coal in there. That's all the coal. All right. Go grab some more coal. Probably need to expand this a little bit more, but hopefully I'll get automation up and running for some of that stuff before too long. I want to start getting some actual electric miners and some an actual mining array over here somewhere. Yeah, I think the bus is going to be up, so I think I'm probably going to actually have my smelting arrays go pointing up, going across this way. Let's grab some of this stone here. And grab a sip of precious life-giving coffee. All right. How are we doing on? Ooh, we're almost out of coal right there. Boop. How are we doing on power? Yeah, our power production still has coal for the time being. Let's grab some of these gears. And on these guys right here. Good. Alright, science pack ones. Alright. Now, we're going to want to get some automation going for some of this stuff before too long. We've got some more assembly machines, so I feel like probably a smart thing to do would be to start getting a bit of an automated setup going for certain items. So I wanted to, yeah, right here, I wanted to change the current recipe to wooden chests. I'm going to feed that some wood because I'm going to want several wooden chests because I'm going to use those as single points to feed some of these assemblies here. What can you start making for me? You can start making some inserters, I think. Oh, there we go. Finish some science. We're going to need steel processing before too long as well. Turrets we really don't care about at all. Military, we're going to need to get green science pretty soon because we're going to start needing green science. But for now, I'm going to get steel processing. So let's grab that. Grab these 7 science packs right here. I'll feed them in. We have almost enough science packs to go ahead and finish steel processing, I think. But anyway, I have inserters being made right over here. I'm going to need more gear wheels. Grab some more iron over here. All the gear wheels. Make all the gear wheels. Okay, so what do we want an automated assembly for first? I think one of the first things we want is transport belts. We're really going to need transport belts to be sort of constantly getting churned out. That's going to need iron. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this guy right here, and then I'm going to have one space, and I'm going to have this guy right here, and then what I can do is I can put a chest right here and a chest right here. Then I'm going to grab these inserters, and they're going to feed like this. And so now I'll just power that up. And this guy is going to be making me some transport belts. This guy is going to be making me some iron gear wheels. And I'm going to go grab some iron. I'm going to put half of it in here and half of it in here. So that's going to feed on in. And then I'm going to have a chest right here. And, oh, that's not powered either. I could do something a little bit smarter with my power poles, but that's fine. There we go. Now we're getting some transport belts being spit out right there. Now, what do we want next? We're going to want some electric mining drills, but I think we're going to be running low on electric circuits. Whoops. We're doing okay on electric circuits. We can make 4 mining drills out of these electric circuits. We're going to need more of these. Yeah, okay. So let's make some electric mining drills. Go ahead and feed that. Oh, we are all done making science. So I think one of the next things we're going to want a somewhat automated production for, automated assembly for, is science. Oh, I need more coal though. That's top priority right now. So otherwise, our power generation is going to die, and then we're going to have problems. I should get more burner miners up here. Probably get a little loop of 6 or 8 of them, so that I can pick up more coal each visit. So grab this, pop that in there. There we go. So that can keep running. Some wooden chests. So we're all out of iron right here, so we're going to need more of these. I think I need to bootstrap that a little bit more, actually, come to think of it. All right, but yeah, for now, I'm just going to pick up this guy right here. I'm going to set this up right here, and I'm going to, it's a good layout for this. I kind of want to have, nope, that. Will that let me, yeah, that'll work. So what I can do is I can go this way, and this way. And so then this guy can make gear wheels. Whoop. Oh, I can do fluid handling. I won't be using that for a long time, but hey, why not? It's there. It's there to be done. I don't have any science packs left at the moment anyway, so that doesn't really matter, but so what we're going to want is we're going to want to feed this iron and copper. So I can pop this in here. I can pop this in here. I can pop this right over here. And so that's going to make gear wheels, and then that's going to feed them automatically to the science. And then what I can do, actually, is, for the time being, I'll just pick up this lab. I'll move it over by 1, and I'll just feed that right into the lab. So we've got science automated to some extent. This guy over here I'm going to move. I'm going to actually start making my assembly down here. Let's grab some of these belts. Oh, running out of coal, running out of coal. Let's top these all up. Okay, so next thing I want to do is, because it is becoming a fairly consistent problem, is I want to make some burner miners. Do I want to make burner miners, or do I want to just jump straight to electric mining drills? Yeah, electric mining drills is actually the better way to go, but I will still need some of these made. So what I can do is I can put down a chest right here. I can spin that around, grab some power right there, and in here I can literally just put all of that, and then I will output that into a box. There we go. So now I can get lots of miners. Now I am going to want a couple of burner miners, but I think I'm just going to do that manually. Not in hand, obviously, because I can't do that. But I think I'm just going to feed this. Oh. That's fine. All right. Three of these on the go. Kind of did that wrong. I set up more copper mining than I did Alright. Get that running. There we go. We can get a little bit more coal on the go from those. Yeah, I should have had more more bootstrap iron being mined than copper. That was kind of silly of me, but eh. Po buddy's nerfed. So let's go ahead and grab some of these. Let's grab some of these guys. We're gonna want some of these stone furnaces as well, and we're all out of stone. Wow. We churned through that pretty darn quick. All right, let's grab some more of this stuff right here. What do we need for green science? Our lime packs right here. So we need transport belts and inserters. Well, we're already making transport belts right here. So we could start actually doing some green science right here, sort of bootstrap. But we're also going to want a lot of transport belts. So I'm a little bit worried if I go ahead and start on green science, that's going to be a problem. So I think I'm going to wait until I have a bit of infrastructure set up. Then I'm going to start on green science. So first things first, I want to set up some infrastructure so we can automatically get some power up and running all the time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to grab all this coal, and then I'm going to grab all that. I'm going to go there, and this little assembly is actually just going to move right over to here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll just do that and then grab the excess. Okay, there we go. So now we can actually get some coal coming down here. Man, going through belts fast. One more space here, and then right down here. I think this should just about get us going. Aha! All right, perfect. So, first of all, I want to automatically feed this guy. And that's one space away, which is good. So I'm going to need, let me bring up my little pocket crafter here. Pocket crafter, I need iron plates and gear wheels. So grab those 2 gear wheels out of here. Yep, so make one of these for me, please. I need some iron plates. So I'm going to grab these guys right here. Here. Okay, I'm gonna need lots more burner inserters than that, but that'll do for now. I'll set up a better assembly for that shortly. So, I want to keep that one fed. And so now I'm gonna want to bring some power poles along with me, right up along this line. Right there. Oops, no. It's disconnected. One right there. One right there. One right there, and one right there. And we have coal on the line. Bringing this coal right on down the line. So that coal will go right by this starting power setup, and this boiler will remain fed. And in the meantime, I'm going to set up my more permanent power setup down here. First thing I need is more transport belts. Move that right down along there for now. Now, next I'm going to need another offshore pump. I mean, I could move this one, but I kind of want to leave that up and running. So for the offshore pump, I need pipes and gear wheels. So set up a couple little assemblies right here. I'm just going to craft some gear wheels, and we'll take, oops, no. How do I, there we go. Take half of those. And then pipes right here. And again, take half of those. And then we need some electronic circuits as well. So I will also plop down one of these. Say you're making electric circuits, and I'll just have that churn away right there for a little while. Got coal coming on down the line. How are we doing on power now? We're still doing ooh, we're getting close to the amount, so we definitely need to get increased power generation. Okay, so let's grab all these. So now I'm gonna want this guy to make me one offshore pump. I only need one for the time being. So how many does that need? 2 electronic circuits, 2 of those. You're gonna want to have 1 iron gear wheel. And we'll grab these. Did I not feed that assembler? Probably, I guess not. Oh no, I have pipes down here. Yeah. Jeez. Blind. I am blind. All right, so I've got an offshore pump. So, offshore pump. We will set that up right here. Here, yes, here. Now, I like to have a single pipe spacer right here. So the next thing I need is I'm going to need boilers and steam engines. So the boilers are going to need stone furnaces, which I have a few in my pocket, so I'll feed some of that, and pipes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. I'll leave myself with 12 because that'll be my initial little smelting setup, and then just load that up there. And then over here, I'm going to want to make some steam engines. So those are going to need gear wheels. Put all my excess pipes in here. Oh, and I've run out of pipes. Okay. Well, so be it. All right. Well, we'll have to turn this back to a pipe assembler. And I'm going to need more iron. More iron. This is going to be a theme, I think, of this particular playthrough for a while. I'm going to always need more iron. Just grab those pipes. So now I can feed those pipes right into here. I'm going to need more gear wheels as well, but this will do for... Oh, no, it won't do for now at all. All right, let's take all those things, make some gear wheels, put that in there. Anyway, now I can start setting these things up. So I'm going to set them up this way. So 1, 2, then a space, 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 1, and then I'll have one more boiler eventually, but I won't worry about that right now. And so now I'm going to set up these pipes right here. I can't walk between these, which is kind of annoying. I could have left 2 spaces and done an underground pipe, but underground pipes are a little bit expensive for this stage of the game. So the reason I have these spaces is so that I can get power poles tucked in around here, which lets me actually string this up and connect it to our power grid, such as it is at the moment. So now, I actually want to redirect this, and we're going to grab some of our burner inserters. I use burner inserters for my initial assembly anyway, because they are you are less likely to wind up in a power death spiral with burner inserters for your inserters, because then you won't end up in a situation where your inserters can't actually insert anything because they have no power. They're not as materially efficient or as energy efficient, sorry, as electric inserters, but being able to re-bootstrap from a bad situation is worth it, in my opinion. So we're going to need more of this. Why don't I just do this? Yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to need more iron plates. Always need more iron. So, drop that in there. I'll build a bunch of these. And we're out of gear wheels. More iron plates. Okay, so we got some, but we have some steam engines. That's the important thing. This should be enough for a little while anyway, I think. As soon as we're done churning away a few more of these. Let's place that guy right there and that guy right there. Need another burner inserter to get this guy going. I don't think I need to do that anymore, actually. That right there, I'll pick up that right there. So, I want one more burner inserter, which means I need one of these and one of these. one burner inserter. There we go. So that should be plenty of power now. Yeah, now we're barely even touching the amount of power we're generating. So we are good for a little while. So now let's have that go in there, that go in there, and then that go in there. We're gonna need more transport belts. Faux show. We still have this little assembly up here, but we won't need it for much longer because this line here will actually provide us with pretty much all the coal we're going to need, certainly for power, but also for other purposes for the early game. So I'm not too concerned about that. So I think one of the next things that I'm going to want to get going down here somewhere is I'm going to want to get something making us some electric circuits. So I want this guy to be electric circuits. I want this guy to be copper cable. I'm gonna want this guy right here, this guy right here, this guy right here. And I'll want this, 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 this. Set that up right there and set this up right here. And now we need to feed this, let's say 400 copper cable. Need more iron plates, more iron plates. Feed that 100 iron plates, there we go. Now we've got lots of that. So, grab some of these. So what do we need next? We are going to need we're going to want some more electric mining drills because we're going to want to start mining some iron. So we need electronic circuits, iron gear wheels, and iron plates. Of course, we need iron plates. We always need iron plates. Let's get a couple more power poles going down this way. It's a real mess of power poles up this way. I will need to clean that up eventually, but as I said, this is sort of my bootstrap at the moment. I'm not too terribly worried because I'm probably going to tear up this entire assembly before too long. Might as well keep science running here for the time being as well. So, some electric mining drills. One electric mining drill. Ah. I'm gonna want to go set up some stone mining as well, I think, pretty soon. Probably with a burner mining drill, just so that I can just go hand feed it every now and then. Oh, now we're out of iron gear wheels. Well then. The struggle is real. The struggle is real. Just saying hello to some folks in the HP Studios community Discord. Alright, so we've got some mining drills now. Let's start setting up some iron. We're gonna need a lot of iron coming in, but I think for the time being, we'll just get a tiny bit of iron going to bootstrap things. So we'll come down this way. I'll get one more miner on this side. Bring it almost down to the uranium. Hang a right. I want to go a little farther than this. I can start my iron smelting operation. Grab these guys. Grab these guys. Now, I'm going to need also some splitters. I need at least 2 splitters. I'm going to need some undergrounds as well. Underground belts. So, let's grab some of these. 10 more transport belts. Because we are definitely going to want some belts. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to step over this way, and we're going to need what I'm going to do is I'm going to set something up here where I have things going into 2 boxes, and one of the boxes is going to feed this guy over here, which I'm going to just manually feed with some electronic circuits. And I'm also going to feed this guy from there. Let's get the power going there. That'll give us some splitters. Two splitters. I'll wait till I can get 4 splitters, I think. I want some of these belts too. Alright. Change this to undergrounds. Alright, so let's start getting some stuff organized here. So I want that to lock there. There we go. That way I can quickly grab what I need on my toolbar. Now, we're still churning away on this. We're still churning away on this. Alright. So, what was I gonna get next? Definitely need some more inserters. Somewhat desperately need some inserters, but first let's get some power dragged across here. Okay, So, now one of these splitters that I created is going to be for splitting off from this coal line up here. Now, normally I don't like to do this. I like power to always have its own dedicated coal line, but for the time being, I'm going to bootstrap it this way. Later on, we're going to get dedicated coal for the power and dedicated coal for the smeltery. We are missing a power connection right over. Yeah. And we're all at about. All right. I think that'll do for those iron belts, or the underground belts for now. We're going to need lots and lots more later, but for the time being, I think that'll do. So, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to have an array of smelters. So I'm going to come down right here. I'm going to say it's going to go up this way, and I'm out of belts again. Well, lovely. This is going to get annoying. Don't really need that one there. I can just put them all in one chest for now. Some more of these. All right, so what we want to do is we want to have, now we're going to want one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. And then we're going to want to have a belt that's one away. Down this way. We're going to want extra space up here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. That's how high we're going to want this thing to be, so our bus can, at the earliest, start up here somewhere. 24 per side, 48. I think that works out correctly so that when we have reds and steel furnaces, we can fully compress a red belt. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'll go. That's just for spacing. Now, what did I do? Oops. I popped that into my inventory. Okay. So, we're going to want, let's move this a little bit. This is the basic setup that we're going to be going for. So, I'm going to need lots more inserters for this stuff. For now, I'm just going to get 2 things up and running. So this is going to end up going something like this. So I'm gonna have a guy like that. Oh, no, this is gonna have to be lower because we've got coal coming in this way. And then nope, that's not how I want it. It's been a while since I've done this without using a blueprint. Bear with me. There we go. That's what we want. So we actually need this whole assembly to move down some more. Because we want... So we're going to want coal coming in like this and then feeding into a splitter like this and a splitter like this. So this is going to need to be out of the way a little bit more. And then we want this going up here. And we're going to want this going in the other direction. Spaced one away. There we go. So it's going to go like that. So that way we can have the coal come in. So we can actually feed our iron in. And it'll feed onto both sides of the belt. Lovely. And then here we're going to want to have our coal line. Let's actually move that because I want it to be a little bit tighter. Just across that, like that. I'm going to run out of belts here shortly, but that's okay. Zoop. Also going to run out of power poles here shortly. But again, that's okay. There we go. So I'll go get some more belts from my little assembler array over here. Whoops. Grab some more belts. So now we actually want this how would we want this? Oh no, that's coming in one too low. One too low. Because we actually want this like this. We can go this way and then continue this on over this way. So we can jump that. And that guy right there should really go like that. And now we're getting some iron plates. All right. Now, we've got lots of copper plates at the moment. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pick up one of these. I'm going to pick up this guy. And I'm going to go ahead and move this little assembly up here to start getting me some stone. Because that's going to be pretty critical. Do do do. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. So I got some extra iron ore. I'll put that in some machines in a moment. But first of all, I really want to get some stone furnaces. Well, that's what I need the stone for. I also want some inserters. That's what I need. I'm going to need some more power poles pretty soon too, I think, so I think power poles are one of those things that's probably worthwhile to churn through a bunch of. So one thing I'm going to do right now before I forget, I'm going to get some more assembly machines going here. Wrong ones. First I'm going to make some of these. Switch over to assembly machines 2. Drop those in there. All right. So how are we looking over here? Hey, we've got some iron plates starting to appear on the line. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this on up this way. Extend this on up this way. And we're going to get some of this going over here. So we can actually start filling both sides of this. And do I not have any power poles now? I think I used up all of my power poles. Right, so I need to go get some more power poles a-craftin'. Grab these, put these in there. We still have one of those left. We still are slightly short on these. Oops. All right. Now, so this is what I was going to set up over here. Oh, no, but first I need inserters, so I'll just do it by hand for now. Oh, I actually have a bunch of wood in my inventory, so I don't need to do that. What I do need to do is probably some copper cable, yeah. All right. So, what do we have running here now? We should have a decent source of copper cable here at the moment. There we go, 200 copper cable. So now we can change this to make us some power poles. Load it up with a bunch of goods. Okay, load it up with some more, because we'll need a bunch more. And let's grab another assembly machine here, and let's make some inserters. And to get some inserters going, we're gonna want some gear wheels. Oh, I have no, I don't have any inserters to do that. So I'll just build as many of these as I can for now. We'll get some automated production of inserters going soon-ish. I can't automate inserters because I don't have inserters. This is a problem. Alright, so now I've got some inserters. So now, and I've got power poles too, so now we can go and get more of this array up and running. I can go grab some of that stone that's up north and then set up more of the array as well, and then we can really get the iron flowing. Then we'll have to do the same for copper, and then we'll have the beginnings of actually being able to set up some of our real automation. So we gotta go here, and then we'll want to go here, here, here. Yeah, there we go. And now we can go here, 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 here. All right, so now we've got 12 of those guys running. Well, I might as well get these guys up here running as well. So that'll be there, there, and there. But now we need more of those guys. So, run this up north while we go. That's what we're gonna want right there. I think that is probably done for now, but I'll just leave it there because I don't need the space right now. I will at some point. Let's grab that. I'm gonna top you up because I want that stone to keep flowing. The stone must flow. All right. Run on down here. So now we can drop some of this stone right in here because we're going to need a ton of these guys. That's okay for now. We don't need more of that. I should have dropped that iron ore off. I think one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a little box right over here, just a little storage space, and we're going to move a bunch of this wood out of the inventory. Make some space. I'll leave some wood in there because we will need to handcraft a little, or not handcraft, but pocket craft a few things. Putting on our little pocket crafter and running from there. All right, so one thing that I want to do is I want to automate some of this a little bit more. So get one of these going. Get one of these going. What do we need here? Yeah. Whoops. And then have these being output into a chest as well. I'll go right here. And, oh, I need a box. So now we can have that make a wooden chest. A few wooden chests. I'll put that down right there. Actually, I'll move it down by one. Makes it a little bit easier for the power. There, and now I'll go grab... Ooh, oh my. We are all out of coal here. Half stack there. Put all the rest in there. That's fine. That guy up. So yeah, so we can only make these until we run out of these ingredients, but I can continue to hand feed some of these for now. Probably could set this up in a slightly more automated way with one box of iron being shared between the two, but I don't know if it's really worthwhile to bother with that right now. Got 10 stone furnace. Did we churned through all of... Oh, no, we didn't. Yeah. There. I just didn't put all that much stone in there. I just put in one stack. Because I'm silly. Oh, we've run out of iron right here on this spot. We've mined that clean out. No wonder I wasn't getting much iron there. Okay, so let's set that up right there. Put one of these guys right here, and then feed those, because at the moment it's still useful to be able to grab iron plate right there. But we will continue to build out this array so that we don't have to deal with that for too much longer. There we go. And now let's get that going right there. That going right there. Whoops. Let's go this direction. And then we've got this and this right there. There we go. And now let's grab a power pole. Here. Here, here. Here, here. 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 And here. Fantastic. And now I'm going to steal all this iron plate, all the iron plates on the line for now, so these guys can start working. Ooh, we're running low on iron, so we're going to need to upgrade this iron mine considerably, which is not unexpected. That was, oops, should go, while I'm over here, I'm going to drop off that iron ore that I've had kicking around in my inventory for far too long. Whoops, I just rotated a belt. Didn't want that to happen. Grab a few more iron plates right over here. Here we go. Now we can feed a few of these things some healthy amounts of iron. Got some more inserters over here. Got some more furnaces over here. Got some more belts right over here. Got some more electronic circuits right over here. So we are definitely going to want some electric miners. And I'm going to actually piggyback on this guy right here. And feed that the rest of that. Now we've churned through all that stone, but I think we're okay there for the time being. Definitely need to expand this ASAP, though. I do need one more miner right here to mine out the very corner of that, so I'm going to get that guy there. I'll put that guy right up there. And we'll need more miners going up that way. Dooby-dooby-dooby-doo-doo-doo-doo. So this little assembly over here is looking pretty good. Let's continue to expand this up. This will give us lots of iron. No iron coming on this side of the line at all. But our new iron miners over here should start to fill that out a little bit. Let's go here. Okay, so let's feed a bunch of those into there, a bunch of these into here, and we'll need a bunch of those in there, a bunch of those in there. That'll keep us going there for another while. We're definitely going to need lots more electric mining drills. Grab some more of these guys. Feed all those in there as well. And we need a few more of these guys. What are we doing here? We need more electric circuits right there. Oh, we are actually... Yeah, there we go. Need more of these. I'm gonna run up north and get some more stone for the time being. Way up here. 269 stone. We'll top that up. 270 stone. Alright. Deliver this down to our little assembly making stone furnaces. Whoops. Alright. Let's go right up to there. There. I go here. Seems hardly worth it to even bother with one on that side. Going to... One going right here. Actually, I don't even know that power pole right there. Alright. Let's start getting a few more. Right here. For the time being, I'm just gonna spit that right on the side of the line because I don't have any splitters on me, so I will need to expand that a little bit later. But now I need 2 more inserters and then I can complete this array, and then I'm going to actually create a blueprint of this and then sort of push it across here and figure out how much space I'm going to have for this whole assembly here. I think I might end up just doing just copper smelting right, or just iron smelting right along here, not actually do any copper smelting right over here. I'll instead tap this guy up here as my my bootstrap copper, as I had thought in my one of the possible layouts I had considered. I'll actually tap it over here, and then I'll set up my copper smelting going horizontally to the right here, and so then I'll have copper and iron coming out, sort of meeting on the belt over here somewhere, meeting on the bus, I mean, over here somewhere, and then right over here where they all meet up, then I can build my mall off to the side, and my mall will build me all the things I need. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing with that. But I'm going to need 2 more inserters, I'm going to need a couple more miners, and then I'm going to need lots and lots more of everything to set up my copper array and so on. How am I doing on power now that I have all these miners? Because miners use a lot of power. Oh, we're still doing fine. We're fine. 4 inserters. Oh dear. We need a lot more of those. Now, one thing that I realized I didn't really work out was where exactly I'm going to do steel. Because this is going to be my bootstrap iron. This is going to be my green circuit iron down here, green circuit copper, my bootstrap copper up here with my smeltery up here, and then I'll have my bus going up this way, my mall, green and red science probably up here, blue science up here at some point as well. So what I could do is I could take this iron right here, 7 million, and maybe this one as well, tap both of them, and then feed them all together into a steel array up here somewhere, and that would be the beginning of my steel array. I'd probably need to have it go south along the bus to start with, to feed the mall, which I'm guessing the mall is going to end up being probably over here somewhere. I'll have to clear a bunch of trees, but I'll probably start the mall over here somewhere. Maybe I want to go north of this iron ore patch. So actually the mall might be up here somewhere. So then the steel may have to be processed up here, come south a little bit, and then come to the mall. And then it can also go north along the bus for a few other things. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to say steel iron, question mark, icon for iron, and then steel. Put an icon here. That's a nice little to-do to remind me later what I'm thinking when I'm getting loopy from staring at Factorio for so long. A bunch more of these. Still kind of short on inserters because I keep forgetting to actually finish feeding this guy right here. Oh well, now I've got some more inserters. All right. Grab some of these copper plates right here. There we go. Now we can put those on the line. Now I'm going to grab a bunch of these copper plates. Actually, what I can do is I can just do it this way. Oh, yes, now I have some copper. Or some iron, sorry. Not copper. What am I saying? I'm going to keep calling iron copper all day long. That's my plan. Looking a little better. I might as well just feed this up. Actually make some of this. Keep that science moving just a little bit. So, now that that array is actually fully operational, I can, whoops. Now I actually have some setups. Now this is a much smaller setup, so I wanted to build bigger, which was why I did it by hand. I do have a few good, useful blueprints here though. Steel smelting, for example, I might end up using. It's not beautiful, but it'll work. Yes, but in the meantime, I want to blueprint. Oops. I want to blueprint this whole setup right here. And blueprint that. I'm going to call it long early smelting. There we go. And let's, oops. Right, so to delete a blueprint, I have to actually blueprint something, say OK, and go in and delete it. That's a little bit clunky, but that's all right. All right, so what I want to do is I want to come in here. I actually want to edit out that little guy right there. Long early smelting. So now this long early smelting should line up nicely right. Oh, no, okay. So I still need to remove these two guys. There we go. That's a little bit better. I'll remove this guy as well. So now this should line up just fine. I can actually take this off of here, and I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. How many iron do I want to go with on my bus to begin with? Because I could go 8, but I just don't know if I have enough iron for that. I don't think I can service 8, so maybe I will actually just stick with my copper, my bootstrap copper being right down here. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to go. So then I'll go 1, 2, 3, and 4 being for copper. And so what I can do is I can actually move these right along the line here. Now I've got a basic power connection all the way along. And now these are iron, so this guy right here is going to be copper. So I'm going to actually put in some of these just to sort of mark it. So this is going to be the first copper array that I'm going to hook up. Now I'm going to need some splitters. That's absolutely crucial. So I'm going to come on over here and start getting some of those. Go here and here. I'm going to put a box here and a box here. There and there. Let's limit these to a stack each. And I'll get Splitters being made right here. Underground's being made right here. I'll feed in some stuff right there. I'll feed in some stuff right there. Now we can actually start getting some splitters and some undergrounds. Low on electronic circuits, but that's okay. All right, well, I have been gaming now for about 2.5 hours. This is the factory that we've set up so far. We have this little bootstrap, very sort of rough setup over here that's making a few useful items, but it's pretty slow going because this is a lazy bastard run, and that's what happens. We've got a nice plan over here for a nice big smelting array. We're going to get copper hooked up as one of the next things we do. We're probably going to need to hook up a bit more coal too. I think I'm going to do, as I was saying earlier, I'm going to take out this splitter, make this line right here dedicated for power and only power, and then set up another line of miners right here to bring coal down to the smelting array. We may need 2 lines to come down to feed this smelting array. I'm not sure. And then we will get moving. Once we have a line of iron and a line of copper coming out right here, we can start planning out the bus, planning out the space that we're going to use on the bus. We can start trying to get the mall set up and start getting some basics set up in the mall. But I am going to take a little break. I'm going to go for a walk and probably play some Pokemon Go to continue the gaming while I'm walking, stretch my legs and so on. Then I'll be coming back, probably having a bite to eat for lunch, and then I will probably be back onto stream. I'm guessing around 1 p.m. It might end up being a little earlier or a little later than that, depending on how things go. But I'm going to save my game right here, save it under a new save slot. Again, just in case I want to jump back at any point, save that. And I will talk to everybody a little later. In the meantime, I'm auto-hosting Zaphras, so if he's still streaming, you should see him as soon as I go off, as soon as my stream turns off. Or I have some other great streamers lined up in auto-host as well, Potato Fishy, Quill18, so you can check out one of them, or you can go check out one of the other HB Stingers that are playing for Extra Life today. I'll talk to everybody later on. Bye-bye.